happens when you ask 4 AIs to make a story? Well, you're about to. So here's the game plan. I'm gonna ask an AI to make a paragraph of a story. Then I'm gonna ask a different AI the other AI's paragraph, then ask me to make another paragraph, then repeat. So let's do the game plan! Oh, it'll be 8 paragraphs long. So let's start with Gemini. I'm gonna ask Gemini to make a story. Let's send that on to Gemini. Hold on. Let's redo that. Woo! Okay. Submit. Okay. Now let's go to ChatGPT and hold on. We need something to store it. Hold on. And Control V. Let me just tab. Okay. Now let's Control C, Control V. And let's send this off. Okay. Copy this, do it to DeepSeek. Don't worry about that, that was just for testing. Control V. Ooh, it's long, so it must be loading. And submit. Okay. Control C. Okay. Now let's Control C and put it into Claude. Control V. And how do we do it? Oh, sorry, I fucked this up. I thought it was what it said. Control C. Let's copy this, and now let's go back to Gemini. Control V. Let's no Control V. Control C and Control V. No, I don't want your line. Tap. And let's Control C. And let's do it into ChatGPT. Oh, it's long. Oh my god. I'm not reading it until the end, though. Control C. Control V. I don't want ChatGPT said, though. Oh my god, why does it always say ChatGPT said? Okay, now we again Control C. Now we input it into DeepSeek. Control V. Woo! Okay, can you just go faster? Control C. Let's go to the story. Control V. Oh, it's so long. It's time for the last paragraph, though. Control C. And Control V. It didn't work. Hopefully it actually does this right. Okay, cool. I just wanted to have the next paragraph. Control C. And the final paragraph. Control V. I don't care about the font. Why? Okay. Why is it that font? Oh my god, why? I just wanted the regular time. Okay, can we just normal text? There we go. Why is that so weird? But we got this 8-paragraph story here. So yeah, this is basically near the end of the video. So I will read it to you. Let me read it. So, first paragraph. The aroma of stale coffee and forgotten dreams clung to the air in the dimly lit office. A scent as familiar as the chipped mug on my desk. Rain lashed against the grimy window pane. Each drop of precipitative reminder of the city's ceaseless weep. Another Monday, another missing person case because my brother or whatever. The photograph staring up at me with wide, innocent eyes that hadn't yet learned the harsh realities of the world. I sighed, running a hand over my tired face, knowing that somewhere out there a family was holding its breath, praying for a miracle only a hardened detective like me could deliver. I flipped the photo over. Lan Muggs, age 17, last seen Friday night outside Clevo's Dare. Scrawled in rushed handwriting was a phone number, likely the frantic parent who had made the report. I lit a cigarette with shaking fingers, more from habit than need, and stared out into the rain-slicked street below. The setting looked blurred and distant, like an old memory I couldn't quite place. Cases like this, they started with hope. If I had seen that hope curdle too many times, replaced by silence, or worse, the kind of troops you don't come back from. I slipped the photo into my coat pocket, grabbed my hat, and stepped out to the wet, gray dawn, chasing a ghost before the trail went cold. The neon sight of Colonel's dinner buzzed weakly in the downpour, its flickering glow catered long, jagged shadows across the cracked sidewalk. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of grease and burnt toast, the kind of place where time moved slower, where people came to disappear or to be forgotten. The waitress, a woman with tired eyes and a name tag that read Marge, barely glanced up as I slid into a booth, rainwater pouring at my feet. I tossed Elena's photo into a sticky table. You seen her? Marge's fingers twitched around the coffee pot before she poured me a cup. Black as my mood. Maybe, she muttered, voice low. Friday night. Coming with a guy, older, slick suit. Don't look like her type. She hesitated, then leaned in. The scent of nunk tone and cheap perfume clinging to her. Left in a hurry, looked scared. I took a slow drag of my cigarette, the ember flaring in dim light, and the guy, her gaze darted toward the back door, the one marked employees only. Come around sometimes, ask for things people aren't willing to give. The coffee turned to acid on my throat. It wasn't just another missing girl. It was something darker, something with teeth. I left a 5 on the table and stood. My hands are already reaching for the revolver tucked under my coat. The rain outside hadn't let up, but then again, neither had I. I stepped into the alley behind Colonel's, where the city's secrets pooled like surgent water rotating brick walls. The smell hit me first, rotting garbage mixed with something metallic that made my gut clench. My shoes splattered in through puddles that deflected the stuttering neon, each step echoing off the narrow walks like a countdown. At the far end, barely visible in the gloom, a black signaled with its engine purring, exhaust mingling with the rain-smoked air. The driver's window rolled down as I approached, revealing a face I recognized from too many late-night encounters in places like this. Tommy, the fish. Caused a little small time was also with big-time connectors. This kind of man who traded in human misery like it was currency. His cold tooth caught the light as he smiled, but his eyes stayed cold as the steel in my holster. Detective Morrison, he drawled, flicking ash from the cigarette into the wet pavement. Heard you've been asking questions about one of our murder questions? I kept my distance, hands steady, near my wound. Where is she, Tommy? His laugh was like broken glass scraping concrete. Now that's the $1,000,000 question, ain't it? But some answers cost more than a badge can buy. He got to the edge, and I knew I had seconds before he disappeared into the maze of back streets, taking Glenna's trail with him. I didn't waste with poor tactics. As the search lunged forward, I moved, a blur of motion hunted by years of chasing shadows. My left hand slammed to the hood, using the momentum to swing myself out of the driver's side. Tommy's eyes widened. A flicker of genuine surprise replaced the unusual sullenness as my right hand ripped open the door, ignoring ignoring his yelp of protest. The car swerved, tires squealing the wet asphalt. But I was already inside, the muzzle of the revolver pressed against his temple. "Try me, fish," I growled, my voice low and dangerous. "You'll find out how much an answer costs." Tommy froze, the swagger draining from his face like a color from a corpse. The barrel of a .38 tends to do that to a man, even a one who pretends he ain't scared of dying. He raised his hand slowly, one still clutching his cigarette, smoke curling behind his fingers. All right, easy now," he muttered, voice cracking around the edges. "She's alive, far as I know, but she got herself in a deep, wheel deep, not with me. I'm just the middleman, the guy you want." He hesitated, glancing sideways through the rain-streaked windshield, as if shadows themselves might be listening. "Name's Vargas, Lucas Vargas. Runs a club down the Dockside district. Bit of Eldon on the surface. It's camping and jazz, but underneath it's a meat grinder for girls who don't know better." He looked at me, something flickering behind his eyes. Pity, maybe guilt or miscognition. If you go there pack more than just that piece. You're not walking into a nightclub, you're walking into a war. Okay, last paragraph. The scene door creaked as I shoved it open, letting the rain pelt my face like icy needles. Tommy's word clung to me, heavier than the damp wool of my coat. Van Eldon. I heard whispers about that place. Police reporters that Mr. Surrey vanished. Witnesses who turned up pudding in the harbor. Vegas wasn't some two-bit hustler. He was a spider in the center web of a stretch from City Hall to the docks, and Adelina was tangled in it. I holstered my revolver and lit another cigarette. The flare of the match helped illuminating the alley, graffiti, sacred walls. A rat scuttered past my shoes, unfazed by the storm or the stench of human decay. I'd say you had a way of reminding how small you were. Well, I guess that's the end. Bye.